for the glitch. Those are the challenges we are facing here in Ghana, okay? The connections are not stable. The internet connection, the networks are not stable, okay? Those are the challenges we are facing. But upon all those challenges, we have to make it. We have to continue striving. So I'm sorry for the glitch that occurred earlier, okay? I'm back alive. I'll be sharing with you how I started this particular farm with just 15 local chickens and how you can also replicate what I'm doing in this particular farm, okay? Now, I've started this farm with just 15 chickens, and I'm very sure that you can also start it. So I started with 15, but currently, if you see, I have a lot of roosters in the house. I just opened them up. That is where the system glitched. We have our birds that we are brooding here. We have our 12 weeks roosters here. We have other birds here. Okay, this is just the growers' house, right? So this is the first result, and then you can see it. Okay, it's something I've started, and you can also start this farm or this particular business, this project. You can also start it. So in this video, I'm going to take you through all the things I did before I started this particular farm, okay? The things you have to consider. You know, these streams are educative streams, okay? I want these streams to be very, very informative. Whenever you join the stream, you take something out of the stream and then you apply it, right? So all the things that I did before this farm, I'm seeing this success. They are just something simple things. I'm going to share them with you in this stream, okay? So we are not going to stay here. We will go to the layers house, and from there we go to the brewing room. You know, these guys are disturbing. You see how they are growing this morning? They are disturbing, okay? They've seen something to eat, so they are shouting that they are hungry. They have to eat. Because have you seen how relaxed they are? They know that they'll be eating 7 a.m. so they won't disturb you. You see, they are just relaxed. All of them are just relaxed, moving about. Okay. But it's very important that the first thing you have to consider anytime you wake up, if you are rearing birds, you check them. Okay. So as I came to the farm this morning, I've observed one thing. They stepped on one particular bed. That bed is not old enough. It's about 8 weeks old. So they stepped on here. So I have to remove hair out of the house. Okay. So it's something very important. You have to be checking them. Okay. So let's go to the layers house. Hello. Welcome. So let's go to the layers house. Shit. Have you seen how they step on there? Have you seen them? They step on here. So see here. They step on here. So it's something you have to be taking note of. You have to be checking your beds every morning. So as I came to the farm, they stepped on it. So I have to take here out. Okay. I love you too. I love you too. Okay. So the crop is also feeling hard. See. So let's leave it here. I'll come back. I'll come back and take care of her. Don't worry. I'll come back and take care of her. So let's go to the layers house where I'll be sharing with you how I'm able to do this. Okay. Get back, get back. See. Okay, sit down. I'm from Ghana. I'm from Ghana. Okay, so guys, can you see that? So see that. Wow. So guys, I told you early in the morning, I give my birds drinks, and then these drinks contain just herbs. Okay, if you can observe the drinker, where we can see that there is a herb in it. See them. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, wow. Guys, can you feel the vibe? Can you feel them? So, oh, see. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So these are my layers. They are local beds, okay? They are just local beds. So I started with 15 beds, and this is where we are today. So I think this guy has hatched. She hatched. So we'll be taking the baby from here this morning. But let's go to the house. This house. This is where I'm brooding. This is where the babies that are brooding. This is where they are. Bye bye. So that is our big mama. We'll be taking these babies from here this morning, okay, so that she'll be free. We are going to brood these babies ourselves. So guys, this is another wonderful morning, and I'm going to share with you how I'm able to start this particular business with just 15 beds, and how you can also start this particular farm. Okay, all the beds I've shown you, they are all local chickens. Okay, from the grower's house down to this house, they are all local chickens. Okay, so it's something simple, but it requires a technical hand. Okay, because as I've started, I committed a lot of errors. Those that watched yesterday's stream will understand that I've committed a lot of errors along the way. So I'm here to be guiding you, to be a guide. And then I know that if you be able to replicate or put into practice all what I'm sharing with you in this particular farm, you are going to see the result. Okay, so guys, I've started this particular farm January 19th this year, 2024. And then as at that time, I didn't have a lot of money. I only had 200 Ghana cedis. But I am very sure that since this is an opportunity, that 200 Ghana cedis is, if I'm able to invest it into this business, I'll be able to transform my life, and I'll be able to change things, turn things around. Okay, so I bought 15 beds. They are young beds. Okay, they are just young beds. So that is how I started. So I don't have any mind of or any place. I don't have anything. I didn't prepare any place where the beds will be sleeping, where I'll be keeping the beds. I didn't prepare anything. Okay, I don't have that in mind. It's something it's a business idea that I have, or it's a project that I have. So I just waiting for the bed without preparing. Okay, but as for you, you don't have to go through that route, because you are going to suffer. If you get the beds, they must get a place to sleep. They must get feeders, where the things that you'll be using, that you'll be putting the feed in it, the feeders, the drinkers, the things that you'll be drinking from. All these things needs to be sorted out before you go in for the beds. But I did not do it like that, because I don't have any technical hand that will teach me. The most important thing here is, it's just fortunate that I'm in a community where I can use some local materials to help. Okay, so I just bought some bottles, cut them into the feeders and then the drinkers, and then I start, before I begin to buy these customized drinkers and then the feeders. So I didn't start like that. I didn't start just by buying the drinkers and the feeders on the spot. They are costly. Okay, one feeder is around $5 here, and then one drinker is also around $5 upwards, depending on the liter. So how I started is just simple. I didn't buy any of these things. I didn't prepare any place for them. I just know that I have a space here. This room, I have it. I have it. I have the other rooms. I have these other rooms. They are rooms I built. You know, I'm a teacher, so I built this room way back in 2019 or 18. Yes, 2018 or 19, which I did not complete it. I just leave it like this because of some personal reasons. So I found out that this is the only space I have in the house and I'm not using it for anything. So I should just buy the beds and bring them here. So as I bought the beds and bring them here, I found out that I committed one particular error, which is I didn't create any structure here for the beds to sleep in. So if I turn the camera backwards, you see that I just went in for some blocks and then I made that structure for, okay? So that is the first error that I've committed. So I need to go in for materials, some local materials. I'm very fortunate enough that my brother had some of those materials. So I just went in for those mats and then prepare a very cool place for them that they'll be sleeping, that they'll be resting. Okay. So before you start, you have to consider all these things: the drinkers, the feeders, the structure where they'll be sleeping. Okay. This is something I did not consider. Hello, welcome, Ryan. How are you? I'm doing good. I hope you're also doing good. So as I started, I did not consider any of those things. I just started raw like that, go in for the bet 15. Now the next thing which is very, very important is whenever it comes to local bets, they are profitable. That means they produce a lot. So if luckily for you, a bet is producing like 20 eggs, that means 15 of those bets. If I went in for the 15 hens, that means out of the 15, I'll be getting like close to 170 or 200 eggs if one is producing 20. It's not even, it's more than 200. If one is producing 20, that means 5, I'll be getting 100. So I'll be getting like 300 eggs. So they produce a lot. So I did not consider that. I did not consider that my farm will grow within these 4 months. I'll have about 130 to 150 birds. And a lot of birds are still brooding. I didn't know that I will have that. So I did not put it in plan. So it requires a space and a structure. So I'm doing it. I started the farm before. Along the way, as the farm begins to grow, it expands just once. So if the birds begin to lay and hatch at once, then you see it just boost. It will burst like something. So you have to consider that. Okay, you can start with 15 birds, 10 birds, but you must know that when they begin to lay and begin to hatch, that is where your farm begins to grow, and then you will need more space, more structures to house this particular bird. I started with 15, but now I cannot just contain them in one particular location. So, now they are brooding a lot. So I have to separate them. Those that are brooding, I have to separate them. Those that are laying, I have to separate them. Those that are growers, I have to separate them. The roosters are disturbing a lot. I have to separate them. So I did not consider all these things before I started. But you don't need to do it like that. So that is why I'm sharing all this with you. That is how I started, but you don't need to start like that. You have to consider all these things where you'll be keeping the layers. If birds become broody and then it's about to hatch, where you'll be keeping them, you have to consider it because your farm is going to grow. Okay. And then the structures, you know, if you're falling for some time, you know that along the way before I made a cage for the birds. I made a cage which cost me around 2,000 Ghana cedis, which is approximately $140, $130 based on the convention rate. Along the way before I made that particular cage. Okay, so what of if I don't have that money at hand as at that time, as the birds begin to grow? It will be a problem. So if you want to start, you have to consider all these things. You can start with 10 birds, but within the duration of 3, 4, 5 months, your farm is going to grow because these local birds, I trust them. Okay, your farm is going to grow massively. So you have to consider all these things. You have to save money aside for making more structures for the birds if the growth has started. So I did not consider any of such things. Now, the next thing which I did not consider is I just take them as 15 birds so I can feed them easily. So I did not consider anything about the feeding. I think they have just 15 birds, so I'll feed them. So they will not eat much. 15 birds won't eat much. But along the way, within 2, 3, 4, 5 months now, I can assure you that these birds are eating more than 150 kg a month. Okay, their consumption is very, very high because These layers, I have about 56 layers currently. And then when you go to the growers house where we came from, they are there about also 50. The matured ones, the 5 months ones, they are about 20, 18, 20 years. And then the 12 weeks ones, they are also about 25, 30. So in total, I have about, and then we have these ones, the ones that are brooding, and then the young ones that we are brooding. So, they are consuming a lot. But as I've started, I did not consider that the farm will grow to this particular point within these 5 months, and then I will be spending a lot of money on feeding. Okay, it's a whole lot of money. I'll be breaking it down for you. Somebody requested that video yesterday, so I'll be doing a video taking you through the cost of the feed here in Ghana, and then I think it's something global. So I'll give you the cost in the feeding. So my birds currently, they are consuming around 150 kilograms to 200 kilograms per month. Okay, that is what they are consuming. Okay, these birds, the layers, they are consuming the layers feed. The growers are consuming the growers feed. Okay, but the layers can also consume the growers feed. They are local birds. Okay, it's not going to harm them. If you are supplementing them, you are cool to go. Okay, so the feeding is something you have to consider. Whenever you start with 10, 15 birds, or even 5, you must know that within the next 3, 4, 5 months, your farm is going to grow. And if the farm grows, that means more input or more expenses. The first one, the structure, I spoke about it already. The second one, which is the most important thing, is the feeding. Okay, so currently I'm spending like more than 1,000 Ghana cedis, which is, let's say, $90 to $100 a month, which is about 50 or 40% of my salary. So, you have to consider it if you are starting. Okay, you just don't need to start like how I started. So you have to consider the feeding. Okay, so the next thing which I did at the start is, as I got this particular birds, I did not know that if the birds begin to lay, I have to be taking care, a special care of them. So I just put them together, and then the roosters are in the house. Those young ones, the 8 weeks ones, are also in the house. Those that are laying, they are in the house. So they started to lay, and then they started to brood. I just came back from school one day, and then I've seen that the ones that are brooding, I did not see any eggs under them. They just consume all the eggs. The ones they laid, they pull them out, they consume it, they destroy all the eggs in the farm. Okay, because I did not know anything about how to raise this particular bird. So it's a technical problem or technical challenge that I've encountered along the way as the farm begins to expand. At first, I just thought that I started with 15, so I can manage them. But as the farm grows at once, I cannot even manage the roosters. When you go to the roosters house now, to manage those grown roosters, those 20 roosters in the house now, to manage them, it's not easy. Okay, they are disturbing. So it's a technical problem that I've encountered along the way. So I have to put up measures to separate the ones that are brooding, to separate the ones that are laying, and then I have to transfer all the 8 weeks and then the roosters to a different room. So you have to consider this if you are starting. If you are starting with just 15, 10, 5 birds, you must know that within 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months, your farm will grow. They are local chickens. Remember, these are not commercial layers. These are not broilers. So that you say if you buy 10 commercial layers, they will remain 10. No, these are local chickens. Okay? If they start to lay and they start to hatch, brood and hatch, your farm is going to grow at once. So within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, your farm is going to grow. And if your farm grows, these are some of the challenges you are going to see. You have a lot of roosters in your house. And if you have a lot of roosters in your house, it's very difficult for them to be mating the hens. Why? They will continue to fight. They will be fighting, they will be chasing each other, and then it causes a lot of problem. It causes a lot of havoc. So if you started a farm and then you reach that particular point, you have to take the roosters out. So you have to make provisions for all these things. Where you'll be keeping the ones that will be brooding, where you'll be keeping the roosters if they matured, where you'll be keeping the 8 weeks, and then the small ones, if you allow them for their parents to be taking care of them, where you'll be keeping them is something you have to consider from the start. Okay, you don't need to continue and reach the point where I reached before you do it. Okay, if you don't have money, you'll be confused, and then you don't know what to do. And if that happens, it will cost you your farm. If you leave it like that, it will cost you your farm. So I have to put in money, separate them, make a cage for those ones, separate the layers, separate those that are brooding before I'm able to see the comfort. So you have to consider these things when you are starting, because your farm is going to grow. As I've shown you, my farm has grown. And within the next 6 months, I don't know, I have to get more money because I just started. I just think it's something simple. I started, but I am promising you by December, I have to make more structures here. I have to make more cages here. And then I have to make more laying places because they are growing. Okay, they are producing a lot. And those that are brooding now, within the next week or the upcoming week, I'll be getting chicks from them like 80. By God's grace, I'll be getting chicks from them like 80. So you see, the farm is growing. By December, I don't know. And we have eggs that are ready to be hatched. So this is something you have to consider whenever you are starting out, okay? Where you'll be keeping them, you must know that the farm is going to grow. So you must have provisions for expanding the structures. The feeding is very important. You are not just going to start with 5 beds and then they will remain 5. These are local beds. They are going to grow, hatch for you. So the farm is going to grow. So you have to make provisions for feeding them. And then you have to make provision for how you keep them safe. That means the ones that are brooding, where you'll be keeping them, like our big baby mama, she's just here alone. Okay, if I should have allowed her to stay with these layers, they will kill all the chicks. They will just kill them. They will beat the chicks, kill them. So you have to make provisions for where you'll be keeping these ones, where you'll be keeping the layers. Those roasters, I call them my guests, they can disturb. So where you are going to be keeping the roasters, because they are going to mature. I started January 19th, and by May, June, they have matured. You've seen them. They grow. So always they fight. So if you leave them within your flock, they will continue to fight, they will continue to disturb the hens. And if that happens, one, the hens will not be laying well. They will lay today, a day after today, they will not lay. The next 3 days before they will lay, sometimes the birds will stop laying if such things continues to happen in the farm, because it is a distraction to the laying hens. So where you'll be keeping them is something you have to make provisions for. If you start within those months, the first 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you must make provisions for all these things I've shared with you. So guys, that is how simply I've started my farm. And this is the point I've reached down. I have almost close to 150 birds, from the young ones, from the chicks, down to the ones that are laying, to the roosters. I have almost about 150. And this is where I am. The mistakes I did, you don't need to repeat them, okay? So I know that you can also start. It's a very good business. I shared with you the amount of money you can make from this particular business. So you can start from just 5 beds. You can start with just 10 beds, or you can start from where I started. If you have the money, you can start from the medium scale, that is the 100 hens, okay? So if you are going to go in for egg production, go in for hens, okay? It's something I did and it cost me, because as I'm going to buy the chicks, I did not consider what I'm going to do, okay? At first, I told myself that I'll be selling these birds, okay? I'll be reselling them. So I just go in to buy any kind of bird that I came across. But you don't need to start like that. You must be specific with what you are going to do with these local birds. If you are going to be selling the birds, you'll be reselling them. If they grow, you have another plan, you can go and buy different kinds. Are you going to be selling the roosters or the hens or the two? So you have to make provisions. Are you going to go in for egg production? You must be specific. If you are going to go in for egg production, then why should you go and buy roosters? You don't need to go and buy roosters. you just need to go and buy the hens. Okay, 100 hens, 8 roosters, 7 roosters is good for them. Okay, so you don't need to just go out there and buy any kind of bird that you come across. If you did not watch yesterday's video about the technique of selecting a breed, a local breed to rear, you can go and check it out. It's something short, 6 minutes. I shared with you the technique that you can use to actually select a breed, local breed, especially if you are going to go in for egg production or you are going to go in for selling the birds. You have to use certain techniques, things that I did not know from the beginning. Okay, so guys, I hope you like this particular video. If you are new, subscribe. I'm very happy that we hit 120 subscribers. I told you within the week, before the week ends, by God's grace, if you are sharing this video, telling the YouTube algorithm that we have started something, and then with this we can transform a lot of lives, then we can reach 500 subscribers before the week even ends. Okay, remember today is Thursday, so we have 3 more days to go. I believe in dreams, so I believe that we can reach 500 subscribers before the week ends. So it will come from you. I cannot do it alone. I can just sit in my farm. We talk, we discuss. That is all I can do. But the actual growth is coming from you. So guys, see them. See them. Let's go to them and then you see the layers. See them. Have you seen that? See them. See them. These are the layers I have. These layers are just having, I think, 6 roosters in the house. And these roosters are just young roosters. Okay, they are just young roosters. 1, 2, 3 are just young roosters. This is the big boy, the first big boy in the house. The second big boy in the house is this one. And then the third big boy in the house is this red one. So they are the big boys in the house. You can see them. So these are the laying hens. And this is where the magic is coming from. Okay, I just started with 50, but this is where I've reached. So guys, I'll be parting ways with you. I don't want these streams to be long. I hope you've learned something. You can see the background. This is a coconut tree. Do you want it? So guys, this is where we'll be parting ways. I love you. If you like this particular video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. If you have any further question, leave it in the comment box of this particular video. This video will be live after we've done. I'll put it public so that you can re-watch it. Okay, so see you tomorrow for another wonderful one like this. Good morning.